Welcome into the Palace of Possibilities, aka Pop. I'm Gina Genesis, your pop music psychic. Welcome to my Earth Angel Diary for August 24th, 2026. I'm doing things differently today. I have a deck off to the side. It's the Work Your Light Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And this is the card that came out for me. And it says, share your voice, come out of the cave, persecution, and expression. I also got from the Sage Goddess Affirmation deck. All the decks are in the box below. I got Amazonite, and it's for the throat chakra. And it says it encourages speaking your truth with confidence. Now, in all honesty, I had to have some liquid courage, so I've had some vodka. Okay, it just, listen, to get through this message, you'll understand why. But it says I express my truth freely. I was listening to some of my old readings on this channel before I had my disgruntled Earth Angel breakdown at the end of July. It's the ones where it's all edited. Because I was making sure that I had all the songs and all the stuff, that my playlists were up to date. And I was doing laundry at the laundromat yesterday afternoon, and I realized that I said something out of fear. And I want to take it back because I think it's important. And it's only because of all the things that have happened lately with like Hayden Panettiere and the cycle of abuse that she was in. And my breakdown happened because I was listening to Evan Rachel Wood's story about what she went through with Marilyn Manson. And, you know, if you're familiar with this channel, I don't want to go through what I've already been through because I do want to leave things in the past. But I also know that it's like part of my testimony, and it's part of my purpose is to share how I broke free. But I realized that in that video, I gave this person way too much credit. And maybe it's because at the time, obviously it was because I had optimism that my prayers were going to work and that he would let me go and that he wouldn't bother me anymore. And unfortunately, you know what? It's just not happening. August 15th, 2026 is the last voicemail he's left me so far. And it's unfortunate, but I understand that that person is never going to break free from his cycle of abuse because he was raised in abuse. That's all he knows. And unfortunately, I think that's all he's ever going to know because it's hard. It's hard to break free from that addictive pattern. And, you know, I'm not here to smear campaign, even though that person has obviously done their fair share. I mean, oh my God, of smear campaigning me. And that was a huge part of the fear that kept me trapped in that cycle, was that he would continue to go further to smear campaign me. And there's a particular video that he held on to, like as evidence of me being crazy. And, you know, it kept me trapped for quite a while until, yeah, I saw that video again. And I thought to myself, oh my God, anybody can tell that I'm not well, that I'm the one that's being abused. Even though he's playing the victim, I'm completely beside myself because he turned the camera around to videotape himself like, she won't leave me alone. You see what she's doing? And it's just, it's crazy because he's the one with the criminal history and he's the one with this pattern of behavior. And it's so obvious that I'm the victim. But that's why I'm doing this video. I am not a victim. I'm not. In a world full of people playing the victim and enjoying that role. And believe me, I've been guilty of it because I fell into my pity party. I fell into depression. And I'm not there anymore. I mean, do I have my moments? Of course, because I'm human. But I'm here in this video to say that I am not a victim. At any point, people were right. I should have run away. I should have run away. I should have run like my fucking life depended on it, because you know what? It fucking did. It did depend on it. So anyway, I have notes because I'm going to try to stay on task here. At the top of this, it says, I am not a victim. Breaking free from the cycle of abuse. Okay. The martyr complex. I'm going to go over that. Where's that? This is what I'm guilty of. The martyr complex is a psychological pattern where a person repeatedly sacrifices their own needs, health, and happiness for others while seeking suffering, validation, or a sense of moral superiority. I am guilty of the hero mindset, the inability to say no. It's hard for me. It's been hard. Not anymore. I've been guilty of low self-worth and guilty of childhood conditioning because the people around me do it constantly. You know, I broke up with my best friend that I've known since 6th grade because I couldn't stand to see her do the same thing. And I was just determined to break free of this pattern. And so far, so good, thank God. But it's not easy. It's a day-to-day task. It's an addiction. The whole point I'm trying to get across here is that if you found this video, God willing, I believe in serendipity, it's because there's something in here for you. It's that you need to choose you. I chose me. This PSA is to say that my abuser will likely never break free from his cycle of abuse. So beware. Beware. You know, he really did his best to convince me. And then he didn't because I knew. But then he trapped me in through coercive control and blackmail and stuff. I knew he wasn't going to change. Deep down, I knew it. But then I didn't know how to break free out of fear. And that's the main reason why I stayed stuck. Fear and the lack of financial resources. If I had had rich parents that could have given me money to get away from him, I would have. If I had had that in my own, like me, that I had had a career that paid me a lot of money, I would have gotten the fuck away. But unfortunately, the only way I ended up getting out was going to be homeless. I had to live in my car to really break free from this pattern. And even then, even after that, he tried to sucker me back more than a few times after that. So why people stay in these patterns is fear. I would say, and it's fear and then fill in the blank. The fear of whatever, okay? Because everybody knows somebody that's going through this or has been through this, or maybe it's you yourself. Now, the definition of fear is a strong, unpleasant emotion caused by actual or perceived danger, pain, or threat. A strong, unpleasant emotion caused by actual or perceived danger, pain, or threat. For me, it was very strong because, he almost killed me. He almost strangled me to death. And the fucked up part is that he was in prison for doing the same thing to someone else. So do I think that the pattern of behavior has changed? No. You know, I don't know, but I can imagine that it hasn't, and it never will. Because if he's still calling me and leaving a voicemail after I have asked repeatedly, well, I haven't talked to him in what was the last time, G? It must have been sometime the end of April-ish or April of 2025. When he tried to buy me off. He tried to leave me money from his dad's, the inheritance that he got after his dad died. He was trying to give me $6,000 and he ended up leaving $5,000 here. I have a video of me counting it back to his sister, my ex-sister-in-law, because I'm like, this is not my money. I've never even touched $5,000 cash in my whole entire life. And believe me, I was shaking because I'm like, he turned it around and started saying that I stole it from him. These are the psychological patterns. It depends on how far your abuser is capable of going. You know, not everybody has that level of abuse. Mine was like a lifetime drama, you know, where other people have like reality TV show type of scenarios where it's just petty bullshit. This was like psychologically and on every level fucked up. Okay, it was just really fucked up. There's a fear of retaliation in these connections, like smear campaigns, like I've said before. Oh my God, he went online. Another thing is he tried to threaten my job. He went online talking shit about me. Then he tried to threaten my job. Like there's always a fear that they'll steal things from you. To me, he stole my peace. That's theft enough. But a lot of trauma gets inflicted, not just on you, but they also start to go after your loved ones. He went after my best friend. He went after coworkers online. It's just ridiculous. This person has insecurities. That make him retaliate in the craziest ways. The list goes on. It depends on how, like I said, how far your abuser is willing to go. Ultimately, death. It's like, to be honest with you, I know this person is the type of person that would rather kill me than to see me with somebody else. And that's why. That's why I'm doing these Earth Angel Diaries. Because I can't go to a court and just get a restraining order. I've tried. It's not going to work. So anyway, death becomes a welcomed outcome. And I've been there. That's why Dottie's with me. I didn't want a dog because I knew that if I had a dog, how would I get an apartment in Boston? I couldn't even afford one on like a full apartment on my own. I had to rent a room in somebody's house, because it's expensive to live in Boston. And when you have a pet, forget it, dude. Like, it's so hard to find a place. It costs so much money and I don't make that much. So anyway, but I had to deal with, I was trapped with him and I didn't want to be on pills. And Texas is not a weed legal state. THC, marijuana is not legal in the ways that it is in Boston, in Massachusetts. So, they recommended an emotional support animal, and here's Dottie. So that's what I had to do. But death was a welcomed outcome at that point, and now it's just become, I'm just to a point where I'm not afraid of death. I'm not. I'm hearing the song Champion by Naomi. Come and try and take it. Come and try and take my life. I will fight to the very end. And that's why I'm leaving these videos behind. If something happens to me, people know exactly who it is. I was attacked last year in 2025. Somebody broke my window. The quarter panel or whatever it's called in the back driver's side. Not the whole window, because that would have been cheaper. Somebody had to come and break that quarter panel right after I stopped talking to him. And then out of nowhere, I ended up with an injury in CrossFit. Not because of the workout. No, because I'm a fitness professional. I know how to take care of my body. But spiritually, it was an attack that ended up being physical. I had my medicine ball and I was putting it back, and somehow, some way, I stubbed my toe like on one of the exercise mats. And when I did that, it caused an instability in my ankle and in my knee, since obviously I was fatigued from the workout. And it aggravated my ankle sprain that I've had 3 times before that. So it's already weak to begin with. And then it fucked up my knee, and it traveled all the way up my leg. I couldn't use my left leg. And I never wanted to reveal that because I don't want that person to know, or that got to me. But you know what? I healed myself, motherfucker. I sure the fuck did. It didn't stop me. But let me tell you, for months, I was fucked up. I was crying. I was mad. I couldn't believe it. I had to leave CrossFit, where I was already starting to make friends, and when I went to get my Akashic Records reading, I asked, and sure enough, of course, it's a spiritual attack. It's also because I'm uplifting, I'm elevating, ascending. There you go. I'm ascending in my gifts and my psychic gifts, and the forces don't want that. But fuck the forces. I don't have fear anymore. I can't afford to be fearful. And if you're out there, I'm trying to empower you to stop having fear, because that's how they get you. Overall, addiction is to blame. And the definition of addiction is compulsive need to repeat a substance or a behavior. I grew up saying no to drugs. I didn't smoke weed in high school. I was not that kid. Even in college, I was not that kid. I was the honor student. I was the do-gooder, the good girl. After this trauma, my daughter, another spiritual attack that's happened recently. I was having such a great relationship with my daughter, Mona. She's my only daughter. And I've always had a great relationship with my first husband, Robert. We met when I was 17. It's that young love, and I love the family that he's created. Basically, if I can't have it, I wanted him to have that, And I wanted Mona to have a family. I wanted her to have a sibling, and I was never able to find anybody good enough to reproduce with. I'm not one of those people that just goes and, was looking to just get pregnant by anybody. It took 10 years before Mona was born, and that's because I believed in being engaged and getting married and all those things. And anyway, yeah, my daughter, out of nowhere, just didn't want to talk to me anymore. And then all of a sudden, she's going through her own mental health struggles out of nowhere. And I said to whatever fucking listens, fuck y'all. You're not going to take my daughter. And if you do, I'm still going to be here. I'm still going to fight for the light. I still choose to be a light worker, an earth angel. Take her. Go ahead. And not because I don't love her, but because I'm not going to let that be something that they think is going to make me break. And that's the thing. You have to choose to be strong every day. Even when you want to fall apart, you have to get back up. And I couldn't walk. I was hobbling around on crutches and shit. Out here in the country where it's not easy to be like that. But I did it. And I healed myself through the powers of my own healing abilities, my Reiki, but Goddess Isis, all the great healers of the universe, the cosmic healing pool, like I call that in all the time to keep me healed and protected. But it's a struggle because we're always going to be tested. But yeah, I'm heading into the almost 20-minute mark. I know it's going to take like an hour to upload. But that's it. Let's do a bubble blessing. Let me see if I can just leave this on a good note. Champion by Naomi. Whoa, come and try and take it. Whoa, a legend in the making, deep in my bones. Oh yeah, I know I am the champion. Oh, I love that song. All right. Yeah. Let's pop out on that. Thank you so much for popping into the Palace of Possibilities, aka Pop. I'm Gina Genesis. That's DottieDot. Remember, your energies can always change your possibilities. Hasta luego. Until next time. Bye.